a third video on the pancake rolls. I've decided that deep frying worked, and I was wondering if we can coat them, flour, egg and breadcrumb them, and then deep fry them to get an even crispier coating. So just some, we just need to, it's come away as the pancake roll, so we just need to put a bit of that on there just to kind of make sure that seals to that properly. So flour, just cheap old flour, just to help the egg stick, and we'll roll that around. I'm going to make a mess of my hands, so we'll get the flour out of the way, and then we've got some beaten egg, so we'll just roll in the beaten egg, making sure we do the ends as well. And then we've just got some cheap, well they're not cheap, but we just got some supermarket brand breadcrumbs. So that out of the way. I'm not going to wash my hands until I've made a complete mess of them. So then roll in the breadcrumbs. I need to dust as well. Wash my hands. Wipe my hands with a cloth that I haven't got. So we'll just sprinkle over some breadcrumbs as well. It's a messy thing, is this. It's like the worst thing to do ever. But and then that's a bit of egg that we don't need. I just kind of thought an extra crispy crumb. This should be even nicer. Not using the basket this time because it was a little bit of a disaster, but we'll use the spoon just to lower it in. So I think this will work. So just like that, turn that heat down just to kind of seal it. Hopefully it wasn't stuck to the spoon. No, it hasn't. Just do that. Oh yeah, this is going to work. This should be even better. Completely unnecessary because it worked when they were just deep fried. But like add another layer to something as always. Get that out of the way. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, so really turn it down because otherwise this is going to want to overcook quickly. Certainly, I mean, like I said before, don't be having pans of oil on top of the stove. I am a semi-professional in my defence, and therefore I know what I'm doing, and the only reason I'm doing it is because of that. But just kind of interesting. So yeah, this is, ooh, this should work really well. I mean, I'd be reluctant to use anything other than bought breadcrumbs. If I'm honest, I think I wouldn't use breadcrumbs that I'd made myself. Or maybe I would. Or maybe I think that'd be a waste of sourdough. If I'm entirely honest, I wouldn't make bread like sourdough to then use it for deep frying when I think bought breadcrumbs are perfectly suitable for the job. So we'll just do that, hold that down, and then we know it's cooking on that side. I'll just turn the temperature up a little bit now. Yeah, probably about 180-ish, something like that, regular frying temperature. So what you'd fry like a piece of fish at, which would be 180. Maybe a little bit lower actually, maybe 160, and then kind of get some heat into it, and then maybe turn it up. I think this will be already. I mean, already it's super crispy. It's like filthy food, isn't it? Let's be honest. Food that you really shouldn't eat every day. But now and again, it's certainly something to treat yourself with. And why not? If life's just all hard work and food that's good for you, boring food that's good for you, there's some food that's good for you that's delicious, but some food that's good for you is just not very fun at all. But gone nice and crispy. Actually reminds me of, oh no, there was a horrible product called Finder's Crispy Pancakes when I was young. They might still make them, but they were horrendous things, absolutely horrendous. Is that somewhere in the back of my mind that this is where this has come from? Maybe. Or maybe there's a classic dish like this. I think everything gets watered down. So, like a prawn cocktail, it was a bit naff in the 90s, was a prawn cocktail, but it was brilliant in the 1960s and 1970s, but everything becomes a watered down version of what it was, and people kind of cut corners. Like a Black Forest Gatto done properly is absolutely delicious, but a bad one's a bad one, you know, and terrible in the same way that a bad prawn cocktail is terrible, but a good prawn cocktail is a wonderful thing, and a deep fried pancake is a wonderful thing. But Finder's Crispy Pancakes were, you know, I don't want to say, but yeah. So right, nice and crispy. Look at that. Look at that. I think you could even do something sweet with these pancakes, but that's something for another time. Have a think about that. Oh, I've just thought of something, but I don't want to ruin it. But anyway, so nice and crispy. You can hear that. So we'll turn that off. And we'll get a lid on that, because I don't want the kitchen to smell of grease. So, heat off, lid on, and then nothing's going to fall in that or splash it or anything like that. And then back of the stove, out the way. Right, so, knife, which is a little bit dirty because I sliced the other pancake roll with it. So this is the third video. As you can see, oh, that's nice and crispy, is that, isn't it? There you go. Isn't that a thing of beauty? Nice and crispy. That's going to be absolutely delicious. And I really shouldn't eat that because I've already eaten too much anyway. But that is spectacular. That arrived in a restaurant for me to eat when we can go back to restaurants. I think I'd be very happy with that. Very happy indeed. But there we go. You can flour, egg and breadcrumb them as well. The third video in the pancake series. Let's call it a trilogy.